Oh, gewalt. Thank you. I love it when the room organically just goes. I know we could have all stayed in the social hall chatting all night, but we have to pray. What are we going to do? Time to make Shabbos, time to offer up prayer. Shabbat Shalom. So nice to see all of your faces. We're going to start with Shalom Aleichem. If you want the words, they're on 142 in Mishkan Tefillah, in our Sidur. This text was originally a Zmirah, a song that you sing around the table. And often if you go to a home where people are observant, they'll light candles and then they sing Shalom Aleichem. And Shalom Aleichem welcomes in angels into our space. We say Shalom Aleichem, hello. Boachem, come in peace. Barchuni, bless us. And then Seitchem, go in peace. So they kind of make a tour of the sanctuary and bless us and then head on their way. So we're going to welcome angels into our space just as we get started this evening. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Boachem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hu Ni L'Shalom, Shalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei Amlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Zeitchem Shalom, Malachei HaShalom. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, la la la, ya la la la, welcome the angels. We welcome each other into this space tonight. People come for so many reasons, right? Maybe you're coming for the first time to check out a new Jewish community. Maybe this is home, and you're here because you need to be here because you have to see your people. Maybe you're here because you're saying Kaddish for someone who's died. Maybe you're here because you're in pain. You want to pray. Whatever has brought you here this evening is exactly why you're meant to be here. And the magic of the experience of community, of prayer, is that we hold all of it, right? We hold every reason you're here. We hold all of your hearts, all of your perspectives. It all can be held by this ancient thing that we do together. So whatever has brought you here, Shalom Aleichem, welcome. You belong here. So happy you are here. Candle lighting is on page 120. Come on.
It's trying.
It's trying. Come on, little Shabbos candle. We need you. All right. Why ever you're here tonight to give us a big flame, you're feeling a little shy and small this evening. You don't really want to show your inner self. That's okay. We accept you as you are. You need a little extra help. There we go. Okay.
All right.
All right, here we go. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת. On page 128. Yedid Nefesh. The English, I don't like the English. Heart's delight. It really doesn't speak to Yedid Nefesh. Yedid feels to me like beloved. There's something so intimate. Not heart's delight. It's, right, it's like beloved of my spirit. It's this deep, connected presence that we welcome into ourselves on Shabbat, Av Harachaman. But I leap like a deer to stand in awe before you. It's this idea of cultivating your innermost sanctuary on Shabbat and then expanding it out and receiving, going out to what you're meant to receive on Shabbat. Yedid nefesh try that again. Yedid nefesh avarachaman, Yedid nefesh avarachaman, Meshochav decha, Eretz zonecha, Meshochav decha, So I like to use poetry as markers of transitions in our service. And I want to read this Rosemary Watola Tromer poem from her book called Unfolding. I talked last month about going to this poetry workshop, if you were here at Shir Joy last month, about going to this poetry workshop, and now here's another layer of what happened at it. So when I got there, and by the way, Rosemary is going to come here to our community next year, and you get to experience the majesty of Rosemary. Not for a little while, but she'll be here. So when we began the workshop, she gave a writing prompt. What she did was she read a poem, and then she gave a writing prompt based on the poem that she read. And I somehow hadn't quite understood that it was a poetry writing workshop, even though it was being led by two poets. I just thought it was a writing workshop. So we all had our journals, and she gave this prompt, and I was like, free association, reading, writing these journals. And then after 20 minutes, they said, okay, does anyone want to share what they wrote? And people raised their hands and had written extraordinary poetry in 20 minutes. Like unbelievable things came out of their mouths that they had written, where I was like free associating about my life and anything that came to my mind in my journal. So at that moment, I was like, oh, okay, I'm clearly not meant to talk at this gathering. I talk for a living. I was called here to be very, very quiet and to listen to all of the poets in the room because I am not a poet. So then there's another prompt that happens, and then there's an exchange that Rosemary has with a friend of hers who's there. Her name is Sherry. And they're trying to figure out a concept she wants to teach. And she says to Sherry, wait, Sherry, what's that word you told me about when we were driving here? And Sherry says, Dayenu? And Rosemary said, yeah, Dayenu. What does that word mean? Tell us more about Dayenu. And Sherry says, I don't really know anything. Does anybody in this room know anything about Dayenu? I was like, oh God. I'm a rabbi. I could talk about Dayenu. So then I talked about Dayenu, and I realized, okay, I'm supposed to speak, maybe not share poetry, but I'm supposed to speak at this gathering. So we had a couple of those moments that were just hysterical. And that's how I got to know this incredible poet, was by thinking I was not meant to talk and then realizing that actually I was called directly to speak as the rabbi in the room. She was like, calling a rabbi? Yes. Okay. Rosemary said, of course we have a rabbi in the room. So anyway, this is the first poem in this beautiful book of poetry of hers. I want to read it because it reminds me of what we hope to cultivate and remember about ourselves every time we come back to Shabbat. Right? Shabbat is a return week after week. Whether you're here with us or at home, doesn't matter where you are, when Shabbat arrives, you are returning back to yourself. You're returning back to an image of who you could be on your very best day, who the world could be, if the world could be its best self, if we're all in alignment, that's who we're supposed to be on Shabbat. This is called Self-Portrait as Tuning Fork. There is, perhaps you felt it, a moment when the day falls away and your name falls away and everything you thought you knew falls away. And for a moment, you know yourself only as whatever it is that continues. Your whole body abuzz with the eternity of it, and you quiver as if struck by the great hand of what is true. Becoming pure tone, a vibration, a wave, a human-shaped resonator tuned to the frequency of life itself. And though later you might try to dissect what happened, in that moment you're too abloom to wonder how or why. You simply are this ecstatic unfolding, knowing the self as I am, so alive and so infinite, you tremble like a song. So taking Rosemary's invitation to be completely and totally who you are, vibrating through the room so we can all vibrate at each other's frequencies throughout this service. We continue on page 130, Lechun Ranana. Let's begin Kabbalat Shabbat. You like that better? Lechun Ranana. Do you remember what to do? There we go. Ladonai Nari Letzur Yishenu Nekad Mafanav. Give me a hum. Betodah Bizmirot Nari alo di-di-di-di-di-no di-di-di-di-di-do di-di-di-di-di-no Get ready to hum. Ki gadol. There we go, you're the chorus. Adonai umelech gadol al kol Elohim asher be'ado mechkere arech So vulnerable using our voices, right? Even a hum can be scary. On page 136, Mizmor LeDavid, Psalm 29. Mizmor LeDavid, Abul Adonai b'nei Eli, Abul Adonai, Kavod v'oz. Try that again. Mizmor LeDavid, Abul Adonai b'nei Elim, Abul Adonai, Kavod v'oz. Ay, 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 Abul Adonai, Kevod Shemo, Abul Adonai b'yadrat kodesh, Kol Adonai haramayim el hakavod yirim. Adonai al mayim rabim, Kol Adonai b'koach. Ay, 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 Kol Adonai be'adai, Kol Adonai shover arazim, v'shaber Adonai et arzei albanon, v'yarkidem k'mo egel. Diridai, rai, 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 yarai, rai, 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 yarai, rai, I had a yoga teacher once who talked about how in the Indian music tradition, there's something called your sa. And your sa is your own personal vibration that your voice is meant to sing at, and that Indian musicians tune their instruments not to some key that everyone tunes to, but they tune their instrument to their own sa, to their note that's their center. It's such a beautiful idea that each of us has this song that lives within us that's unique and distinct to who we are. And often I think about that when we sing nigun, diridai, la la la, when we try to find a way to sing along to something that someone is singing in Hebrew, we don't know the words, we don't know what they mean, maybe we're uncomfortable, but finding a hum or a something that can find our own vibration to feel comfortable in the room, right? A way of joining that feels authentic to who you are. We don't have such a thing exactly